Alright guys, we're here for another episode of Flick You, the movie podcast. I am the guy, his name is CAMPO. This is the other guy. Tell him your name.
Friend. Chris.
Chris Friend. He's a nice guy. Alright guys, so a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, we're going to talk about Star Wars.
Yeah, but it's our galaxy. We're the galaxy far away.
Okay, first movie talking. New movie called Jedi Fighters.
Okay, you're going way too much Stutter Steves over here. Okay?
What's the new movie called? I don't know. I actually tried to remember.
The new one is The Last Jedi.
Okay, do you like that movie?
I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot better than I thought it was gonna be.
I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot worse than I thought it was gonna be.
You had high hopes for that? I mean, okay, like Disney didn't ruin anything. Like they did a really good job on The Force Awakens, if you ask me. But like I just didn't think that The Last Jedi was gonna be what it was. It was very original, I gotta say. Kudos to originality. It wasn't boring. I didn't want to turn it off. I wanted to watch the whole thing. So, you know, they kept me entertained. They kept me watching.
I don't.
So, you know.
Okay, it wasn't like a poop shoot.
No,
it wasn't like moviepoopshoot.com.
But it didn't have that Star Wars like feel, right? Like, am I the only one who thinks that?
No.
You know. Am I also the only one who thinks that they were just trying to like shove way too many jokes down our throats?
No, the jokes were so super forced.
They were like that was the Force Awakening. Right
yeah,
there. Like seriously, they were
the awakening down my throat.
And you know what's funny is like I said, I watched all of them and like in order, and like episodes 1 through 3. They tried to put jokes in because like they made those in like the 2000s. They tried to like make it not so stiff. And like I thought those were forced jokes. I thought that was forced comedy. This is
how I see it.
I don't know.
I see it. Okay, starting in the beginning, episode 1 through 3. Okay, no, the original trilogy. It was the thing that makes those movies special. In a way, because I'll argue something else later, but is the chemistry between the cast and the way the comedy kind of just flowed. And it was kind of like the movie didn't even know what it wanted to be, but we had never seen anything like this yet, so it made it good.
Definitely.
The new ones were trying to focus so hard on like the lore of Star Wars rather than like trying to make a good movie. Like they just wanted to, remember those books that they wrote after the last Star Wars? Let's just put everything we could cram in movies and make up words and all kinds of flashy, colorful people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the new ones are like, okay, we got to relive the magic, forget about the other ones, but we're gonna try really hard to be funny when it doesn't need to be funny.
It didn't, yeah. That was kind of like
the themes of this movie are, if no one saw it, sorry, too bad.
Spoiler alert, it's been out. Go to the freaking movie theater. Stream it on the internet.
It's such a dark tone, and it deals a lot with finality and death, and shouldn't be funny.
And then in between those moments, they try to throw you in a curveball joke, like to try. But you know what? Don't forget. Let's all have fun here, guys. Like, no, like I get what you're saying. Like, fuck off with that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, all the good serious parts were great. They were amazing. Like the freaking battle with Snoke and freaking what's the little crybaby's name again? Oh my god,
Kylo.
Kylo. Oh, Jesus Christ! I just had a brain fart like to the max. So like that whole scene where it was like a mirror image of like when Palpatine's talking to fucking Luke, you know, and like in right here, where is it? Return of the Jedi. Like, that whole scene where, like, Luke's trying to bring Darth Vader back to the light, and Palpatine's trying to basically show him, like,
Yeah, but that's what they've done best, is try to completely copy everything that was good about the other one.
But that's what I mean, like, even those... But, like, you know what? Star Wars is built on fucking copying itself, because it had to be.
The parts where there was new original content that should have been great, they ruined it by doing something stupid every time.
Yep.
Okay? First of all, the beginning of the movie, I said this probably to like a lot of people, but I had to shut off the movie and go check what movie I was watching because I was like, this is not Star Wars. What the hell am I watching? I thought it was like the skit from the opening of an episode of Saturday Night Live. I swear to you, I closed the movie and reopened it because I wasn't sure what I was watching. It went full slapstick comedy for like 5 minutes. And I was like, what is happening? And then the fight at the end, you're like, okay, Luke's gonna go out. He's gonna go out hard though. It's gonna be an epic fucking lightsaber battle. So we've been waiting for this whole movie. Like we did get that 1 minute and well, not even like the less than a minute fight with Kylo and
I thought
Rey.
that was gonna be a lot better.
That was an awesome fight scene, but it literally went by in 2 seconds and it was over.
It went by in 2 seconds, and then how do they finale? How do they end it off?
It was like
that's the only. Okay, here's the fight that we're gonna have. It's not really our real fight. We're gonna make it seem like, trust me, the real one's coming later.
Oh yeah.
But you know what? We're gonna throw you for an even bigger curveball. Luke's just gonna die.
And then we're gonna set it up like there's gonna be a sick lightsaber battle,
like
and then it's just gonna end.
There's gonna be some great action to come. We're really gonna see Luke come back to like the fold of the fight. You know what I mean? Bring back General freaking Skywalker over here, but no, he's just gonna have his little his little mystical battle.
But there was salt.
It was.
Yeah.
That was a pretty boss scene, I'm not gonna lie. It was pretty dope, and I liked, I like that aspect of them trying to, they were trying to be funny right there, but it was just like, it was really epic.
Yeah.
Like the whole fucking go and brush your shoulders off, like I'm too hardcore for you, Kylo. Even in my apparition form, fucking ghost form, I'm too hardcore for you. So that's what, like,
but then it
like,
negates itself because you were like, hey, look how cool I am, and then I'm gonna die now.
Yeah, like you pulled a free.
I'm so much stronger than you. So to prove it, I'll just die.
And you know what's funny? Because like they pulled this card so many times in the whole series. From episode 1 to now, they pull this card so many times where like, if you strike me down, I will become stronger and more powerful than you will ever know. And then they do it, and they just become like a freaking ghost buddy for the hero to talk to.
Oh yeah.
And they don't really do anything.
And don't
anymore.
forget
all they
this.
do is just give you more convoluted answers for you to figure out on your own.
Ghost Yoda has been dead for like 40 years and can still project himself somehow. He's dead. He still does it. He didn't die again. Yeah. But somehow Luke died from projecting himself, but then can project himself again after, probably.
I don't know. There's a lot of holes.
So you don't have enough energy to, like, I don't understand. It's Star Wars is kind of losing itself in its own mythos, and it's kind of getting really weird.
So I'm inclined to agree a little bit, even though like I love it so much. Like, and that's a fucked up thing, guys. It sounds like we're fucking probably just like shitting on this whole franchise right now, and we're not. We're huge fans. I will be buried in my Star Wars memorabilia.
Oh, I totally will not, but I like Star Wars.
My coffin's gonna have airbrushed TIE fighters on it.
I have lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and
lots.
But I can keep
that's
going
not
on
to say that, like, you know,
it's
like, it is going in a whole direction that, like, I just don't think.
Listen, this is what I'm getting sick of though. People jumping on the bash Disney wagon. Listen, I get it. Okay, Disney, being part of Disney, they're gonna try and lower the ratings on movies to get more people to watch it. I understand. But you're talking about not just the best movie studio that ever existed, but the richest. So they can give all the money. They can get all the actors. No one's going to say no to Disney. I'm tired of people complaining, oh, like the Marvel movies are too soft. I want more like DC. Yeah, good. DC's movies are so gritty and shit. I'm glad they're so gritty because they're not good. Like, Marvel,
very good for a
Disney is, whether or not you like how the spectrum of the softness to strongness of their movies, they're good movies always. Like, even Pirates of the Caribbean, they're not amazing, but you can basically watch all of those movies.
You can sit through the whole
thing, at the end, you won't be upset that you watch them, but they're not like, oh, like the first 3 are good, but then after it just kind of falls off. But like, Disney's just, they make quality movies, and it's not Disney screwing up those movies. That was, the director tried to make his own vision, and totally left the realm of Star Wars. And I like the changes. It's the fact that it just didn't feel right. I like what happened, but at the end, after watching the whole experience, I was like, this just doesn't feel like Star Wars.
It felt like a spin-off, right? I feel like we were watching like a spin-off
series. It's like Rogue
series.
One almost.
But Rogue One, honestly, though, like it was
One.
Amazing. It was amazing. I have nothing bad to say about Rogue One.
Let me get my one thing out of Rogue One, and then you can tell me about Rogue One. Rogue One is 80% a boring, lackluster movie, but the final, like, 10% of the movie are unbelievable. That final fight scene is like Lord of the Rings epic.
Yeah, it was. You're right. You know what? I got that same sort of, like, I was like, oh, like, what's happening next? Like, what's going on with them? Like, while this is going on, I was just, like, so concerned.
And the characters were cool.
I was so concerned. The characters. They were great. That's why I thought, like, even the parts where, like, it wasn't so action-packed. I thought it was a great movie. I thought the dialogue was great. The story was fantastic. I'm so glad that they even got the idea. They're like, you know what? Remember that whole thing that we put in the first movie where they got... Remember the whole New Hope, where it came from? Let's make a movie about that. Let's go back for a minute. Let's make a movie about it, Morty. And we're gonna... And, like, yeah, so, like, they just, like whoever came up with that fucking idea at the water cooler was like, hey, guys, man, we should tell a story about, like, how they even got the Death Star plans. Like, you think that would be a good little filler while we're, like, coming up for some more shit for The Force Awakens? Yeah, Gary, that'd be freaking great.
They did a good job.
Gary makes millions.
Gary did make millions, whoever Gary is. But I'm assuming that he made millions.
Could be a Garrett. I don't know. But, like, whoever...
It most likely wasn't.
Honestly, though,
it was this year.
It was really good. It was a really good concept for a movie, and I'm really glad that it unfolded the way I wanted it to. And
the finality of that movie is what made it. Okay, so you got to see the entrance into what you loved, which is the original trilogy, and you got complete and utter finality, which is something we've never got in Star Wars. Star Wars always ends on an open note. This movie, we watched the two main characters sacrifice themselves, just like literally die.
Which we always knew was going to happen, even just from the like. I mean, if you know Star Wars, right? You know, like right from episode 4,
people
like you know,
die.
They sacrifice themselves to get us these plans.
Exactly.
You know,
I agree. But like
so,
people
we knew it was going to happen, but like they even made it so you still.
You have to think of it like this, okay? Obi-Wan died, but prior to having the prequels, Obi-Wan was in a movie for 23 minutes. So you didn't really care that Obi-Wan died.
Yeah.
Okay? Qui-Gon Jinn, you got introduced to a completely new character that didn't really matter to your life because you already knew this completely different set. So Obi-Wan was special now because you already know Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
And like all those other characters, Anakin, you knew where that was all going. But then Qui-Gon Jinn didn't matter. So when he died, it wasn't like, oh, these characters did. The whole movie is just primarily focused around them. And then the way they give themselves, you know, it wasn't, they didn't die in a lightsaber battle accidentally because the other guy was too good. They literally killed themselves to make sure that whatever happened was the right thing to do, like to get the plans out.
They were real Jedi, you know what I mean? Like they were like exactly what like the Jedi was supposed to be, like Qui-Gon Jinn, Master Windu, guys like that who like always end up kicking the bucket because they're too pure. But that's what I mean, right? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you get introduced to these characters for like 2 seconds, it feels like, but honestly, they're amazing, and like you remember them the most. Especially that saga of Star Wars when it came out. Like, I mean, honestly, who was clapping for Jar Jar Binks? It wasn't me.
The biggest issue they had with that movie, like General Grievous is my favorite part.
He was amazing. But like he wasn't a robot though. Like if you see, like I want to know more about his history. To be honest,
there is a whole thing about it.
There's gotta be, and I wish I knew more about it.
But they made it not canon. There's all books and comics about it that are exposed that used to be canon.
Because you know he's not a full robot. Like you see it in his eyes, right?
Yeah,
like
he's
an organic
Jedi
being, and obviously in his death scene, like he's got inner workings of an organic entity. You know what I mean? But like he was dope. He was awesome. Great villain.
There's too many characters in those movies. They constantly try to give you people, and then by the end you're like, who's that guy? I don't remember that guy. Oh, who's that guy? Oh, is that a clone? I don't know. Is that Boba Fett? I don't know.
But you know what? Like I think when you see like a lot of the different like Jedi Masters that there were like back in the day, and then after they all die, you're like, you know what? It's kind of good that this happened. Like I
prefer the minimalist.
Jedi like them having like, you know, there's
2 people.
The end of it, right? But you know what? When you think about it too, what was the whole prophecy behind Anakin Skywalker? He was supposed to bring balance to the Force. Well, he did because he did. There's always only ever 2 Siths, right? There's always the Lord and his apprentice, and then you have like 150 freaking Jedi Masters.
So wait, Darth Maul dies in the first one.
He does, yeah.
So then, who became the apprentice?
Count Dooku was the filler apprentice. Was Count Dooku? I know. I always forget about Count Dooku as well, which is stupid because what's his name again? I'm having another brain fart. The guy who plays him is. brilliant actor, died. God rest his soul. What's his name? In Lord of the Rings, he was Sauron.
Sauron?
Too. What's his name? Christopher Lee. Amazing. The guy is so talented. He was amazing. And then there you got another amazing actor and like storyline and character that would have been awesome today. I think like
the guy who played Palpatine, I could not stand him.
Yeah, I know, but whatever.
All right, so
you gotta deal with that.
We'll get more into talking about this, but we have compiled a list in order that we would like to do it for the Star Wars.
And our lists are different, by the way. So
hopefully, we don't know. We've never looked at it.
We don't know what each other's lists are.
So we'll go through it, and then like you do your whole list, and then or should we do one and one?
I think I'll do mine, and then you do yours.
Okay, and then we after you do yours, we do both before we argue.
Okay, fine. Okay, I'll give you that. I will wait to hear your list, and you'll wait to hear mine before we.
Okay, go. You can start it off.
To banter. Should I go number 9 or number? I'm gonna go from coming in at number 9, Episode 1, The Phantom Menace for me, and then number 8 would be Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Number 7 is The Last Jedi. Yeah, sue me, guys. All right, The Last Jedi wasn't number 1.
So the movie that surprised you came in at the bottom.
The movie that surprised me. I'm talking. That's the newest one, The Last Jedi.
I thought you said it surprised you.
Yeah, it surprised me, but it's like I said after that, it wasn't. Can you remember what you said?
Yeah. Continue.
You said.
I said.
And then number 6, Revenge of the Sith, because it come on, it opens up like the story. Like you see, Darth Vader gets created, Obi-Wan and Yoda go into hiding. Luke and whatever anyway, it's just great. I think out of the shitty trilogy, that was the best.
No argument.
No argument. Anyway, number 5, The Force Awakens, and honestly, number 5 and number 4 for me, I don't know, I couldn't. It's either one at this point because I think they both stand at the same place. And number 4, Episode 4, A New Hope. Number 3, Rogue One. And number 2 and number 1 spot, they just go hand in hand for me. So, I always watch them together, and that's Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
Which one is better for you?
Return of the Jedi, definitely. I mean, come on, it's...
All right, well, first things first.
It's just my favorite since I was a kid. I've always
hate
loved
you.
It.
Our lists are completely different,
okay.
Not even close. So this is good. Okay, so I'm gonna start at the bottom, and I'll go fast. All 3 prequels. So you got 9, Phantom Menace. 8, Attack of the Clones. 7, Revenge of the Sith. Then 6, I got Rogue One. 5, I got Last Jedi. 4, I got Return of the Jedi. 3, I have A New Hope. 2, I got Force Awakens. And number 1, I got Empire Strikes Back, which should be number 1 no matter what list.
So that's they always watch them together, man. I just fuck.
Okay, so
Your list is really good. But I gotta ask, how the fuck could The Last Jedi not be at or near the bottom of yours?
Because, okay, I never said it was a bad movie. I just said I was expecting to get an 8.5, 8.75, 9 out of 10 quality movie, and I got a 7.25 movie, which is what I thought of Rogue One, okay? So let's start at the bottom. So your bottom 3, what do you have?
I got Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Last Jedi.
Okay, so I have Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith. But for me, I'll be honest with you, after all the way up to Revenge of the Sith are all quality movies. They're all good. I like all of them. It's Attack of the Clones is borderlining on complete trash, and Phantom Menace is, honest to God, one of the worst movies I've ever watched in my life.
Yeah, Attack of the Clones, they needed a third filler for me. I get the Phantom Menace, I get it. As shitty as it was, I get it. You got to see where Anakin comes from. You got to see where at least a bit of an origin.
Yeah, but I shouldn't
Obi-Wan
have to.
And Qui-Gon.
I shouldn't have to watch a pile of poop.
Open up somewhere.
I shouldn't have to watch a pile of poop just to be free to show me who Anakin was. How did you progressively get better while making the movies? If you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, man. The whole, like I said, that whole saga.
Okay.
It wasn't.
So you have The Last Jedi way down there. Explain that one.
It just like it didn't feel like Star Wars, like I said.
Okay, I agree with that.
I felt like I was watching like they were trying to do something else while throwing in characters from a movie franchise that I love.
For me, that was every drop off point about that movie that brought it down was not the badness of the movie. The movie was good. It was all the feeling of it not being Star Wars.
Yeah, and that's like honestly, like we're making a Star Wars list, right?
As
like,
we progress to the top, I'll explain more of what I mean about Star Wars feeling.
The most Star Wars end up at the top.
I had Rogue One and Last Jedi at 6 and 5, and you had...
I had Force Awakens and Revenge of the Sith.
So why do you have... What's your deal with Force Awakens?
Honestly, The Force Awakens could have been... like it could have been number 4. It could have been the number 4 spot on my list. But like I feel like it's just as... when I was watching it, I was having as much fun as when I watch the original fucking trilogy, like when I watch 4, 5, and 6. You know what I mean? Like,
so you put New Hope in that back to back.
I put it back to that because I got the same feeling watching it. You know what I mean? Like when you're watching The Force Awakens and they're running through that stupid planet in the beginning. I forget the name where Rey comes from. Anyway, it's like Tatooine, but the other one. When they're running through and they're like they're pointing out stuff like the Millennium Falcon, and she's like, oh, like, you know, like, let's take that ship. That ship's a piece of shit. And then you look at the camera pans to it and you're like, holy shit, it's the fucking Falcon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like when she's like rummaging through some shit, and then you see like it pans out, she's in the engine bay of a freaking Star Destroyer that crashed, and you're like, you know, that was a battle.
But I think that's what makes that movie special, because in The New Hope you didn't get anything. The
nostalgia aspect.
You didn't have nostalgia yet. Because it wasn't.
But
so
it was exciting and new.
It's different. Okay, so I have that at number 2 for me. Okay, so then what do you have next?
Number 3 is Rogue One.
And why is Rogue One so high on your list? Because that movie is boring as all turds for the most part.
I didn't think it was boring. I thought it was great. I thought it was super interesting. Like I said, like I think the fact that because I love episodes 4, 5, and 6 so much, Rogue One being like basically like the prequel. It is the prequel to that, but like I feel like in that trilogy, it's like they should have just, when you go buy the box set for 4, 5, and 6, they should just chuck in fucking Rogue One right in there.
Just come with it.
You know, it should just come with it because it's just so it's that story.
Rogue One to me is the movie, like when you watch the extras and it's like we have a mini or like a 15-minute like short movie. Good. No, but that like connects the two.
Yeah, right. But like, but if that 15-minute short movie was like 150 minutes of awesomeness
from the first hour of the movie, you only need about 10 minutes of that to understand what's happening, and from the second hour of the movie, all you need is that final fight scene. So like all you need is a quick intro and then the fight scene, and I could have dealt with that.
But they're bringing you like these characters, right? They know the characters they know you're not ever gonna see again, so it's not like, oh, you know, we're gonna show you a little bit of them and then we'll answer some more questions after. They just tried to, I think, answer as many questions as possible, give you as much of a glimpse into this person's like persona as they possibly could before you never see them again. You know what I mean? And like, and I'll be honest with you, I wish I could see more of Jyn Erso. I wish I could see more of the blind guy, I forget his name, the blind guy and his buddy there that protects him, the Jedi Temple Watchers. You know what I mean? Like, those are all the characters I thought were amazing. The pilot, the Imperial pilot that defects, and then he goes crazy after the mind thing gets his tentacles in him, which was awesome because that's a little Easter egg to I don't know if it is for sure. Let me know, Lucasfilm. But because they used that same concept in an episode of American Dad. When Jeff's in the space station, they call it the Majestic. Yeah. It's literally the same concept. His tentacles dig into your head, and it shows you like it gets information out of you, but really it's like, I don't know. I just thought it was kind of cool. Like they put that little.
You're literally gonna flip this table pretty soon.
I'm trying not to. This house was built for a very small and great lady, but I don't fit in it.
Okay, so anyways, So I have Empire at number 1, and I'm going to tell you why. Because Empire is the best movie. Empire it improved on the first movie, and it gave us the characters that we know now, because they're completely different than what you see in episode 4. Okay, in episode 4, if you watch all the behind the scenes, whatever, there's a planned romance between Luke and Leia. Yeah. So going into the second movie, they didn't even know yet at the beginning of the movie that they were brother and sister. There was rewrites halfway through filming that they decided that they were going to be brother and sister. So you're looking at a movie and a half of sexual chemistry between these people,
so weird.
And then they kiss a few times.
They do.
There's even a cutout scene where they like make out.
That's hilarious. I gotta start watching that stuff.
But okay,
I have all the behind the scenes stuff.
That movie is dope. Okay, Force Awakens for me was better than A New Hope because it did what that first movie did exactly, but better. It did a way better job, and it looks better. It feels better. The characters have the same chemistry. You still get Han Solo.
Definitely gonna look better. It's like 40 years newer.
This is my Star Wars thing where I keep talking about Star Wars feeling. This is what I want to get to. Realistically, when you break down all of these movies, except maybe Force Awakens, which you could still do it to, none of them are really solidly good movies. They have poor writing. They have poor directing. Some of them have really bad, like, camera work. It's just...
the underscoring's all the same.
The feeling of the movies, the chemistry between the characters, because the acting is not good. It's the chemistry between them and the way that you kind of get this quirky humor with the sci-fi aspect that you never saw before is what makes it good. Like, I still give all the Star Wars movies generally a good rating, but that's because the feeling I get from watching them, I enjoy it. It's a happy watch. I love it. Like, I'm not a Star Wars fanboy. I'll admit that straight up. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. But I love Star Wars still. I just love movies. But being more of like a critic per se, I break down movies. So I can't just watch Star Wars and be like, oh yeah, it's so much fun, these characters. I'm like, no, that acting is so bad. Like, Leia has a British accent for the first like 10 minutes of the movie and then never has it again. Like,
yeah, because they're like, yeah, this is gonna work. So let's just pretend like that ever happened.
You know what happened? They were like the script she was given in the beginning. They're like, there's no way it would have sounded good in an American accent. So even though they knew she was gonna have an American accent, they're like, just do it in British. And like, how stupid is that? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not hating on Star Wars, but when you break down these movies, there's nothing technically, oh my god, great about them. They're not like Godfather, but they're great fun watches. So Return of the Jedi, to me, is just like a blunder and a half. Because even though we get all the important things that I love, the Darth Vader scenes, the Luke scenes, the Jabba the Hutt scenes, the whole Endor part is just like, I went to Muppet Land and I don't know what's happening.
And they're all worshiping the gold guy.
And those were supposed to be Wookiees. It was supposed to be a planet of Wookiees, and they changed it because, you know, I don't know.
They didn't want. I don't think maybe they didn't want to do it twice.
And that's why. So A New Hope is third because I think that it's the started it all, even though it's worse than Return of the Jedi.
It's definitely worse than Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi is fourth just because the Ewoks. Just Ewoks. Just someone put that.
You know what? I'm almost inclined to agree with you and just like change my answer for number 2 because you know what? When you think about Empire Strikes Back, was amazing. The whole like rescuing Han. You see,
you get Lando.
You see more Lando. You know what I mean?
Lando's what makes these movies.
You get the Lando Chewie crossover.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
they get to team it up for a little bit like that. And I like how like honestly Luke is basically he's almost at like his full potential, and he's the Luke. He's the Luke that you wanted Luke to be in The Last Jedi.
Yes.
But he didn't become that. He
became some old crotchety man.
He ended up being some old crotchety man that's more like Anakin in the sense that he'd rather like murder for the greater good than just like do it the right way.
And can we just agree on something? What in all Christ's name were those stupid nun things?
The nun things? What nun things?
When Luke is on his planet where he's staying now before Rey comes there's those little like nun things.
Oh, like these like the people that like maintain the temples.
What the hell is that?
Like, I thought it was supposed to be a ruin.
These people are there to maintain the temples, and then you burn the temple down. Burn that mother down. And then we found out Rey took all the books anyways.
Down to the she didn't take she didn't take the books. Yoda destroys the fucking books.
No, if when Poe goes in the Millennium Falcon to get something out of it, he opens the thing and all the texts are inside of underneath it.
Oh, so there you go. So it's all good, guys. We'll get to read the books again someday.
dream. Think not to.
Yoda's part was honestly that made the most sense. It's like, who gives a shit, basically, about all of this.
Yoda's part was a description of the movie we were watching. Like, who gives a shit? Just watch it. It's Star Wars.
Yeah, basically, kind of just comes down from the heavens to say it.
He's like, it's Star Wars. Just shut up and watch it. He's like, at least it's better than the Phantom Menace.
We're just gonna scrape.
No, but the thing that comes out of that movie that's important is the acting performances are really good. The writing is pretty good. It's just the feeling of the movie isn't there. Like, the action scenes in that movie are awesome.
It feels like it just feels like a whole new sci-fi.
It feels like Star Trek
adventure. No, it doesn't feel like Star Trek.
Yes, it does, because Star Trek is much more of a sci-fi, like a lighter side of sci-fi comedy than Star Wars.
They make Star Trek. It's like what it's how it would be with just normal people. You know what I mean? Like, there's nobody. Okay, there is people with powers and shit. Spock's got his stuff. I don't know too much.
Spock is like, but you have to remember Star Trek predates.
There's a lot of sexual tension. Yeah. There's a lot of
most of Star Wars.
There's a lot of real human emotion.
Most of Star Wars is based on Valerian and Star Trek. That's where most of the ideas are pulled from, and like Dune, the book Dune and stuff.
Well, it turned out to be better than all of those combined, because that's what it is.
I don't know. I like the new Star Trek trilogy, to be honest with you.
It's pretty good. Actually, it is. I enjoy them.
The last movie was really good.
I could only watch those. I could not watch any of the other Star Trek.
No. I used to be a huge Star Trek Next Generation fan when I was a kid, but that's mostly because I didn't know what I was watching, and I kind of just watched
that's
things.
Mostly probably because of
Whoopi Goldberg.
And freaking what's his name?
Captain Jean-Luc Picard, USS Enterprise. Okay, guys, so that's our Star Wars talk. Let us know in the comments below your list, how you think.
Let us know if we got you going, man. What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? Tell me I'm an idiot. Tell me John's smart. Vice versa. Let us know what you guys think.
Yeah, and also if you have ideas for future episodes, themes, let us know. We love to hear from you guys. Thank you. Like, subscribe, and do some other stuff.
May the Force be with you.
Because
it's no longer with our favorite franchise.
It's gone. Hopefully then it's Han Solo.